Hello there and welcome to Podcaster Plus, the podcast offering tips and tricks to simplify and automate your podcast. Find all the episodes at podcasterplus.com/show. Today, we're tackling a question which many podcasters have thought about: how to get more subscribers. Don't tell me you haven't. We'll explore effective strategies to convince listeners to hit that subscribe button. So let's begin. As always, we will divide the podcast up into various different sections, and section 1 is understanding your audience. Before we begin tactics, let's talk strategy. The most effective way to get subscribers is to understand what your target audience looks like. Who are they? What are their interests? What problems do they face that your podcast might be able to solve? Knowing your audience allows you to tailor your content and marketing efforts which will resonate with them on a deep level. This means creating a listener persona, identifying their preferred listening platforms, and understanding their motivations for listening to podcasts in general. Once you have a clear picture of your ideal listener, you can craft messages that speak directly to their needs and desires. So section 2 then, crafting compelling content. Great content is, of course, the cornerstone of any successful podcast. Think about what makes your podcast unique. What value do you offer your listeners? Is it insightful interviews, engaging storytelling? Do you offer practical advice, or maybe something else entirely? Focus on delivering high-quality, consistent content that keeps listeners coming back for more. Consider incorporating listener feedback and suggestions to ensure that your podcast remains relevant and engaging. Remember, a well-produced podcast with clear audio and a consistent format is crucial for a positive listening experience. You don't need anything super complicated for listener feedback. Even just dropping your email address might give you some valuable insight. Section 3. Effective marketing strategies. Now let's talk about getting your podcast in front of potential listeners. There are several effective marketing strategies, and here are just a few. What about social media marketing? Utilize platforms like X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and so on to promote your podcast. Share snippets of episodes, behind-the-scenes content. Engage with your audience. Use relevant hashtags to increase visibility. Cross-promotion is another option. Collaborate with other podcasters in your niche to cross-promote each other's shows. This can expose your podcast to a wider and potentially as yet untapped audience. Website and email marketing. Create a website for your podcast with episode descriptions, show notes, and clear calls to action to subscribe. Build an email list to keep listeners updated on new episodes and engage them with exclusive content. Have you thought about podcast directories? Ensure your podcast is listed on major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and others. Optimize your podcast title and description with relevant keywords to improve search visibility. And don't forget the podcast icon as well. That can be important for engaging people the moment they see it. And finally, in this section, paid advertising. Consider running targeted ads on social media or podcast platforms. This is a no-brainer. It will cost you money, but it will definitely enable you to reach a wider audience. Okay, the next section is calls to action. A strong call to action is essential for converting listeners to subscribers. Don't be shy about asking listeners to subscribe. Make it easy for them to do so by providing clear instructions and links to your podcast on various platforms. Use compelling language that highlights the benefits of subscribing, such as access to exclusive content, early releases, or perhaps even just a sense of community. Building a podcast is the next section. Engaging with your listeners is crucial for building a loyal following. Respond to comments and reviews, create opportunities for listener interaction, and foster a sense of community around your podcast. Consider hosting live Q&A sessions, creating a Facebook or other platform group, perhaps even a Discord server. Encourage listeners to share their thoughts and experiences on social media. It might be a time suck, but it might be worth it too. So, in conclusion, getting subscribers takes time and effort, but by focusing on creating compelling content, employing effective marketing strategies, and building a strong community, you can significantly increase your podcast reach and build a loyal following. Remember to be patient, persistent, and always strive to improve your podcast based on listener feedback. So there you go. That's what I've got for you this time. Thank you very much for tuning into the Podcaster Plus podcast. You can find it at podcasterplus.com/show, and we will also include any links and resources from this particular episode, and we will see you next time for some tips and tricks to simplify and automate your podcast.